Yeah. All right. Well, there is another transfer that hit the market yesterday. You called it, was it the craziest transfer
Yeah.
in history? And let's jump into that. Andrew's got Minnesota ties. Dari really likes James Rodríguez. I think that he's past it, and I'm not really sure what to make of this deal, but he's a mega superstar going to the ice tundra in Minnesota. Why is this the craziest transfer?
No, honestly, we were talking about my hometown in Redwood City, and my nickname around those parks is the James Rodriguez of Redwood City. So people
Hell yeah.
look a lot like him. So that's why it's the craziest. No, no, but for real. I think it's the craziest transfer of all time in MLS, or one of them, because he's not going to Miami. He's not going to LA. He's not going to New York. He's literally going to Minnesota United, a world that's literally been flipped upside down the past couple of months. And the guy's just going there. And I'm hoping it's kumbaya for him, like I'm
Yeah.
hoping he's what Minnesota needs right now in all aspects of life. But no, this is 100% one of the craziest transfers, because this signals another era of MLS where no matter what type of star you are, you don't get to choose your team, big dog. It depends on the team that gets you, So maybe we're not going to see the Marco Royces being able to force their move. I mean, I bet you anything, James would love to play in Miami, but it just doesn't work that way. I bet you anything, he would love to play in Austin, or even with the Galaxy. Shoot, you imagine you lose Ricky Pooch, and then all of a sudden you get James for 6 months. So this is a weird one. This is totally a weird one for me. All I know is you're going to see a ton of Colombians booking their trips to Minnesota once that's official. And you're going to see Minnesota being one of the hot spots for Colombians traveling before the World Cup to see James play.
Yeah. Dari, I think you may have said it, but I think that we were all a little disappointed the Galaxy didn't take a punt because
Yeah,
he's not
for
a
sure.
DP.
Yeah,
Did you?
I'm pretty shocked, and I can't believe they got him for that. I mean, it just makes no sense to me. It's a blockbuster signing. I think it's one of the biggest signings for sure in the history of the league, and I think it could shape up to probably be the biggest depending on how he plays. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge for the league, and hopefully he's still got it. I haven't really watched him play in a while, but I think he'll be serviceable at minimum.
But the thing is like, is this something where it's like Minnesota had their discovery rights of James, and they said, let's just do it.
Yeah,
Let's
it
just shoot
has to be. I feel
try.
like.
No.
We're not going to
Well, I
give.
mean, we'll see because they usually they
Right.
usually release who they had to pay for the discovery rights, and I
Yeah.
haven't seen that anywhere.
Exactly. So this is going to be an interesting one, man. If this one really goes over the line, even he posted, "Here we go," and I was like,
Yeah,
"What?"
yeah.
Here
And
we
he's
go.
like in a shirt on a private jet. I'm like, "Big dog, you know where you're going?
Yeah.
You're going to the Twin Cities, dog. You're not going to Miami. All right, like." This is weird. This is weird all around, but hey, I'm for it. I'm for it. Like, now, not only do I have to circle when, LAFC is in town, or Miami's in town, or the Galaxy's in town, now I have to circle Minnesota, which I've never done in my life. Hey, let me give you guys a little tip right here. If you haven't booked your tickets to Coachella Valley Invitational, you should probably do that now. You might be able to get a VIP ticket for pretty cheap, and who knows, James and Son might just walk right by you.
Yeah, we are all going, I think. Dari's 50-50, but I think the plan is to be there on Sunday and to hopefully see those guys at least up close and personal just a little bit. The fact that James is, that's the only thing that confuses me, is the only thing that I've understood from the reporting coming out of Mexico is that he wasn't invested. He wasn't really fully there, and that's why they didn't continue with his partnership there.
Well, Leon
Right?
actually kind of got shafted because he really
they?
went for the Club World Cup, and then they got disqualified because them and Pachuca, have the same owner, if I'm not mistaken, and they kicked Club Leon, and that's kind of what the argument was. LAFC's was going to be in the Club World Cup because they lost to Club Leon in the CONCACAF Champions Cup back in 23, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then once they didn't qualify, he was kind of stuck.
Yeah, so is that so he just got stuck and played out the rest of his contract and that was it?
Not really. I think they were
So
terminated.
they
And
terminated it. So they didn't even
Mhm.
have enough. Was it a money thing? Like the contracts just didn't
No,
line up?
honestly, Mexico has had a lot of guys kind of terminate early. I mean, Maxine
He just
just
yep.
posted about something
Yeah.
at America, right? Aaron Ramsey kind of terminated. Honestly, I hate to say it, but Liga MX is kind of looking like the Saudi Arabia of the West. I mean, there's a whole bunch of superstars that are kind of pulling out of their deals before they
Mhm.
finish them, and it's getting, it's starting to become a trend. So it's interesting, but I still think this James deal is huge. I mean, it's going to Minnesota, or who knows? What if it's like a last second ditched
Yeah.
by some other team, and then they're just trying to get like $1 million or $2 million discovery right money? I don't know. I still don't believe it until he's in that kit, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. He's gonna be a loon. Andrew, you are
I
the only person that's had that experience up there in Minnesota.
Right.
Do you
And
think-
I have some contacts. I'm gonna shoot a text and be like, bro, like what's going on? Like,
yeah.
like what is going on? Is this like
Still, like, yeah. No, but it's an interesting situation. My take on it is, for me, James Rodriguez, his motivation is to, we've seen it kind of throughout his career, has been to save himself for Colombia, for these big tournaments. It's always been to keep himself in the best shape for these big tournaments, to make sure he's selected, to make sure he's playing. Um, I feel like with especially the Leon situation in the Club World Cup, he was really motivated to be at that Club World Cup. And I think for me, he wanted to show, it was his really one big chance to show European teams and show where he's at compared to the elite European level, and hopefully get himself some move at a European club to really get himself at a high level for the World Cup, I think was his ultimate goal. But with, again, like Favi mentioned, everything falling through there, he kind of figured, well, if I'm not making a step towards what my goal is, I'm out. I'll take the bag. I'll see you guys later. I'm going to go back to Colombia and just train on my own. And now it's kind of the situation where it works out for Minnesota, who were looking to add attacking pieces, especially, but they've made a lot of departures. They're kind of, it looks like they're stepping into their incoming era. And so it's kind of a marriage of convenience there for Minnesota, for James. And it's kind of a similar situation. He's trying to show that he's at a level, or at least get himself fit, get himself sharp. He hasn't played since last December. He's trying to, again, just find himself in this place to be selected, to participate for Colombia. And it's a 6-month deal, maybe after the World Cup retire, or earn himself some other move to Europe, Saudi Arabia, whatever, just get a bag. And, he played his last World Cup. He's happy. He's going to get a check and retire. But he has an option now. It feels to me that's kind of where it's heading, just reading the history, kind of reading the tea leaves there. But it's James Rodriguez. He's going to give everything for Colombia, I think, this summer. I'm not sure how much he's actually going to play for Minnesota because of that. It reads to me almost like not quite like a Marco Roy situation, but he's going to be in rotation, used sparingly. Injury is always going to kind of follow him around. So I'm not sure how much he's actually going to play, especially on these long travel days, these long road trips. Now in the winter, it's 12 degrees in Minnesota. It wasn't too long ago where it was minus 20. That's live reporting from Minneapolis. Shout out Anna out there, my girlfriend. But it's gonna be tough for him, and he might not always want to be there. It's not gonna be easy for him to say yes and be available, especially when he's thinking World Cup, my ultimate career goal. So I feel like, again, it's a marriage of convenience. I'm not sure how much Minnesota is expecting to get out of him, or as a fan, I'm not sure how much I would expect to actually get to see of him. But a fun move nonetheless, really interesting to talk about.
As a media member, this is gonna be so selfish of me, but I'm going to that press conference. I'm gonna be there, even if he doesn't step a foot on the field. Like that's a cool one, especially within MLS. Just for the pictures alone, I think that's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's fireworks. Is it the first ever prove it deal for a superstar? I can't think of a lot of 6-month rentals to start a season. And maybe this is just because the World Cup and it's a very special, unique thing. But if he's going to Minnesota, like either he's trying to prove to other teams within the league that have more money in the summer, like, hey, I'm available, or he's trying to prove to somebody that he can still play. I don't think Colombia is not in a spot where, like, if he's not playing for the next 6 months, while that might not be the best for him personally, like he'd still be on the plane. he'd still be there for them. So I just find this the whole thing is crazy. It's fascinating. And I honestly, for me, I think that he could be here for a long time if he wants to be. And that optionality after the World Cup is over for him to get a move to a bigger market when there are teams that will do some shuffling, that's where I see this sticking. And James in the league is not bad business. That's good business. The more of the superstars that we have, especially international, the better the league's off and the more excited I get. So don't know.
This is one that I expected after the World Cup, but if we get him before, sure, that's perfect. And then we could talk about Griezmann during the next window. You know, like this is the best thing possible for MLS fans. I mean, I think all of us were saying wooden spoon Minnesota right now, easy, done. You know, they lost everybody. They have all the gamma in the world. They are not using it, and now who knows?
Yeah, now they might be in a place where they have a superstar carrying for 6 months, and they're like, we just can't let you go, man. You're here for as long as you want to be. Here's that magical contract that'll end up being $2 million on our DP spot, but it's got a much larger number behind it.
I bet you anything MLS is already photoshopping pics, man. I would.
Oh my god!
Oh, yeah. Some intern is going crazy right now.
Every single thing I can.
Yeah, some intern is on Photoshop, just like literally losing his mind, sporadically trying to get the was it like the skyline that they've got on their kit? Yeah,